A while back I took a trip to Vstock and I found a shelf of off-brand or indie superhero movies. I reviewed the first, the pretty terrible All Superheroes Must Die, but several viewers were curious about the other movies that I brought up at the start of that review. Brief update, that 3-hour-long gritty reboot of The Phantom, it turns out is a 2-part Sci-Fi Channel miniseries that catastrophically failed, so they repackaged it as a movie. Today we're here to talk about Rendel Dark Vengeance, or just Rendel in other countries, an indie crowdfunded 2017 superhero film and the first superhero movie to be produced entirely in Finland. I like to try and be cute and call the movie Finnish Batman because Turkish Batman is a real thing that actually exists, but while Turkish Batman is an intentional attempt to make a Batman movie, and Indonesian Thor is a long-running character in his homeland, Rendel is a completely original creation for the movie. Besides, there's a different popular movie that Rendel cribs a little bit of inspiration from, but I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet. We'll see if you can figure it out on your own. A good bit of half-silly edgelord dialogue to get things underway.
Listen to me, you spineless scumbags and immoral bastards. There is a line between good and evil in this world. And that line is me.
Yeah, the movie was shot in Finnish and features an English dub, so I'll cut some slack on some of the more awkward deliveries. The movie opens with news footage discussing a pharmaceutical company that's developed a vaccine for something, but a scandal is brewing because it's begun leaking that the company is doing illegal experimentation on impoverished black people. Illegal experimentation on poor black children? This isn't Finnish Batman, it's Finnish Black Lightning!
This world would be a better place without investigative journalists.
Well, somebody supported Gamergate. No, that line's gonna piss off too many people. Set me up again.
This world would be a better place without investigative journalists.
Well, someone's got a bright future at BioWare.
The weird thing is, this whole corporate conspiracy plot thread pretty much drops out of the movie because either the corporation is run by the mob or they're using the mob to conduct all its illicit activities, and the mob is led by our villains Irola and his son Rodika. I am not used to saying Finnish names. We then cut over to this guy named Ramo who wakes up to an idyllic life with his loving wife and daughter, and they give him a Father's Day present.
A biker jacket.
Damn! Biker jackets in Finland are badass!
So what does our hero want to do today? Because you always take care of us.
What's the over-under on how long until the family bites it? Because I'm pretty sure Ramo's our main character.
Oh crap, red skies! Crisis on Infinite Earths is happening! People will get really mad that Batwoman is important! To let you know that the mob is evil, we cut to Rodika interrogating an underling over some missing money with the assistance of his right-hand minion.
Oh no, it's Dr. Bald.
The gore effects are really squeakishly good, so let's hurriedly move on before my channel gets demonetized.
Take care of Kurika, now.
Okay, need something more family-friendly for the algorithm. What's in the next scene that we can show?
Hey, let me go.
Hey, it's 6 for the price of 1. 6.
Gang rape. Lovely. This is one false accusation of swatting away from being a cinema snob video.
You're supposed to bring pizza, not pussy.
Some goons at one of the drug labs are making my video unfit for children and ordering a pizza when the lights go out and the goons start getting taken out by a shadowy figure.
Repe? Repe!
Did they call that guy Repe? Is one of the bad guys literally named Rape?
Holy shit, it's Professor Zoom! We get our first look at Rendel wearing a sick leather jacket and a demonic black helmet. You can't deny, Rendel's got style. The bad guys are so busy admiring Rendel's look that they stand completely still instead of shooting him while he takes them out. Rendel saves the hooker and torches the drug lab, but his mysterious blonde lady accomplice in a black dress is not impressed.
They need to be afraid of you. Are you gonna help, or are you just gonna stare?
Because shining a little light in the sky is for ninnies.
Now, one of the things that I really like about the movie is its use of dark comedy, and this right here is one of my favorite instances.
Hey, I've got your pizzas here.
That was brilliant.
Adding insult to injury, Rodica has two comic relief dumbass henchmen who thought take care of that tortured half-dead guy from earlier meant take him to the hospital so Rendel can grab him. Rodica takes this development well.
Waste of a perfectly good pillow!
Ramo works as a financial director at a bank, and he denies a gangster a loan after piecing together that he's running an illegal operation. The mob then flexes its influence to get Ramo fired and blackballed so he can't find another job. But luckily, in these hard times, Ramo can count on the support of his family.
What if Daddy read the bedtime story? It's not like he has anything else to do.
Well,
Cheese and rice, Romo's wife turned bitchy.
Daddy, is it true? Do bad people really exist?
Yes, Pumpkin. That's why Daddy goes out at night and pounds the bad people's skulls into hamburger meat.
The journalist finds out about Rendel from the hooker, and a shadowy other evil bad guy talks to Arola about some big truck shipment. But what's weird about this scene is it sounds like Arola and Rodica are voiced by the same person in the dub, so it sounds like the old bat is talking to himself.
I just need more time.
More time? How many years more?
Cut to Rendel attacking one of the mob's trucks, stealing some files and blowing it up, while the blonde lady with him practices her Gordon Freeman LARPing. Rodica takes this development well.
Fuck! Fucking fuck!
Nice going, dude. You blew up the truck more.
They realize that there's a mole in the mob, but who could that mole possibly be?
Maybe the mole is that guy whose life we ruined and who already pieced together that we were bad guys and who we then hired to handle all of our classified information. Just a hunch.
We cut to Ramo in a bar where the gangster that got him fired walks up to him and offers him a job as a mob accountant, tasked with going through all the mob's documents to see what can be shredded. I'm sorry, how stupid do you have to be to hire the guy whose life you directly ruined and who already knows you're evil to handle all of the evidence that could burn your entire organization to the ground and then leave him unsupervised?
Fucking Muppets!
You don't touch these vaccines. This shit isn't meant for a white man.
That was in case you missed it the first time that the bad guys are racist.
Oh, and somehow the vaccine is made using this black tar substance that permanently bonds to skin and hardens to be stronger than stone.
Don't touch it. It's tarnite. It integrates your cells or something. But when that stuff dries up, it's harder than stone.
Then again, it wouldn't be a superhero universe without a magic substance that gives the hero his powers. Rendel tracks down the other truck, but this time the bad guys are ready and ambush him. He flees to a nearby building so he can start stealth taking down the goons one by one. Unfortunately, Rendel is so stealthy that he takes out all the goons off-screen while we follow the comic relief dudes from earlier. You've got a great lead into this scene with great cinematography, tension, and pacing, only to get ripped off on the actual action. The dumbass goons spill Rodica's entire social calendar to Rendel, and then Rodica kills them off. Not for blabbing, mind you, he's just as mad as I am about them screwing up that action scene.
Rodica! That's a fitting name for you. Arrogant beetle that rolls around in shit.
The mob is starting to realize their goons are too incompetent to take down Rendel, so they pull strings to get a big-ass Russian assassin out of prison, and he puts out a call to 4 of his hitman buddies.
Jimmy, I can't talk right now. I'm giving flying lessons. Lesson 1. You need wings.
So now we have a squad of supervillains. Too bad the red skies mean that a wave of antimatter is going to consume them all before all the action starts.
We have a problem?
Shut up. Rendel. He vanishes. He just dances around the bullets.
You think the assassins actually bought all that buildup rather than just assuming that the mob's guys have shitty aim?
Luckily, Ramos already got dossiers on the assassins. Earlier, the daughter's toy horse broke its leg, and Ramo fixed it by coating it in the indestructible stone stuff so that it would never break again, because apparently Finland doesn't have access to superglue.
Of course, superglue wouldn't give us that sweet symbolism!
She moved like a shadow, and like a silent wind, she brought a spark of hope in her wake.
I'm not convinced he isn't just reading her the script. Dr. Bald goes to pick up Rodica at a nightclub.
Roddick.
Say what?
Note to self, book Kanye West at this nightclub.
Don't be stupid.
Despite Blonde Lady's warnings, Rendel chases Rodica to a warehouse where the assassins are waiting for him.
Behind every great man is a woman who wants to choke him.
The fight scenes are pretty well done. The fight choreography is restrained to look like two normal people realistically fighting each other, with Rendel getting believably winded as it goes on, plus it's shot with a stable and pulled out camera so the action is easy to follow. I see this woman trained at the same dojo as Julius from Jason Takes Manhattan. Punch the guy in the one armored part of his body! Rendel manages to take out 4 of the assassins with believable quick thinking and swiping their weapons.
Shit.
I love it. But the 5th assassin kicks Rendel's ass. He only gets away because one of the other assassins isn't quite dead and shoots him to death. I don't know why. I can't tell if it's meant to be an accidental ricochet off of Rendel's mask or if she's just a bitch. Given the other female characters in the movie, I'm inclined to believe the latter. It's incredibly sad that Rendel, who isn't actually wearing any body armor, can still take more bullets than Batman can in that Batman Begins tie-in game. Rendel takes out the last of the assassins, and Rodica takes this development well. But it turns out the lead assassin guy is still alive because if an axe wound only mildly irritates Jason Voorhees, a comic book villain could just shrug that shit off.
I've been using the COVID-19 quarantine to watch all the Friday the 13th movies for the first time.
As Rendel starts to succumb to his wounds, we cut over to Ramo, whose family is being threatened by Rodica and Dr. Bald over his spying. Please kill my wife first, she's a total bitch! Rendel returns to the ransacked house, and it's revealed at last that Ramo is Rendel. He survived the attack on his family, and stricken with grief, he took a bucket of the liquid stone stuff and covered his head with it, permanently encasing his head in that black stone mask and remaking himself as Rendel prior to the start of the movie. At first, I thought the film was trying to be clever with this telling the story out of order thing, but on a second viewing, I realized I make it really clear that the guy who ruined and then hired Ramo is the same snitch that got tortured and crippled at the start of the movie. So the film does make it clear that Ramo's bits are flashbacks. I just wasn't paying enough attention to catch it. So, couple questions. If that thing over his face is permanently bonded to his skin, how does he breathe? How does he eat or drink when he doesn't have a mouth anymore? And how does he hear shit around him with an inch of stone sealed around his ears? Is his beard just going to itch under that mask for all eternity?
I mean, I get that he made this decision whilst in the throes of grief, but it still feels like he wouldn't get very far before going, oh crap, this was a terrible idea!
You're one dickless, brainless, spineless, and useless fucking asshole. You are the greatest mistake I've made.
You know, in most movies it'd be awesome to see the main villain constantly getting his ass kicked and humiliated, but when it's done by an abusive dad the villain is just trying to get approval from, it kinda ruins the enjoyment. By the way, is anybody else getting the feeling that Rendel is cribbing a few notes from John Wick? I got to thinking about it because in both movies the villains are a mob boss and a comically inept screw-up son, but it feels like the general plot and themes line up too. A guy on hard times trying to be a good man suffers a personal tragedy at the hands of the mob, and in his grief kicks off a mutually self-destructive cycle of revenge war, mainly fixated on the gangster's dumbass son. Plus, denial over their transformation and character plays a pivotal role in both protagonists' arcs, as we'll soon see. I'm not accusing the film of being a ripoff. The films are structured radically differently, they do completely different things with the villains, and John Wick is an immortal role-reverse slasher villain, while Rendel is an ordinary guy with no weapons or equipment. The movie just got to a point with the mob characters where I couldn't not make the connection, you know? Rodica pretty much snaps and has all his men gather at a factory while Rendel tends to his injuries. There's supposed to be a sentimental scene of Rendel opening a long-lost present from his family and getting a locket, but it's kind of ruined by fearsome badass superhero pulling a Snuggie around him to settle in and chill at home for the night. Oh, never mind, that was supposed to be a poncho, I guess. Rendel hands a bunch of the mob's incriminating files to the snitchy guy he nabbed earlier to turn over to the police, and he finds out that Rodica's goons are all assembling at the factory.
You know the meaning of Rendel? It's Hungarian. It means order.
Like you get what you have ordered.
Boże moi, now I'm going to pistol whip you! Oh hey, the reporter! I forgot she was in this. Rodica captures and ties up the reporter because, well, it's a superhero movie. We have to have the girl in danger even if the hero doesn't even know that she exists. But Rendel gets to the scene and he starts kicking ass. Rendel montages all of Rodica's goons to death until the assassin dude and Dr. Bald are all that's left. Time for the epic supervillain showdown at long last, baby!
Cracking open that fucking scullion!
You just got owned, son!
Oh, you cocksucker!
Man, Rendel is a catty bitch during this climax. Rendel and Dr. Bald square off, and again, the fight is pretty good. Good cinematography, and the fight looks grounded and realistic, but yeah, it doesn't go so well for our hero.
So you think you're a fucking superhero?
You were gonna die, now you're gonna die with aching balls! In a twist that I don't think will be all that surprising to you, the cloaked blonde lady, it turns out, is not real. I guess Rendel's been hallucinating her as an extension of his subconscious, coping with the darker elements of his new persona that he's not ready to embrace yet, and serving as the voice of self-doubt, talking down to him when he's lacking the confidence for a big fight. It actually makes the film better on a rewatch as you have the full picture of Rendel's subtle character arc, but regardless, the power of having a dead family gives him his second wind, and he serves Dr. Bald up a club sandwich! And Rodica is such a bitch that he runs away from a fight with the dude who can barely stand. Even though Arola has done literally nothing the whole movie but sit on ass and abuse his son, the shadowy business suit man orders Arola killed so Rodica gets put in charge of the mob. I don't get why the butt monkey of the universe who hasn't done a single thing right gets a huge promotion, but we've already established that these are not smart gangsters. The scene is actually really tense and emotional with moody music and without a single word of dialogue, kept cold and professional in spite of all the crap Rodica's been through, plus this line of dialogue from earlier.
Your father is using you.
No, he's not. That's the only thing he won't do.
What is with this superhero film giving the villain his own character arc?
But then Rodica and Rendel have their final showdown in a car parking lot in the pouring rain at night. Can't imagine why I was thinking of John Wick during this movie. Rendel's in pretty bad shape by this point and gets his ass handed to him, but just when Rodica goes to finish him off, yes! He's mastered the art of the stealth high-fi! I told you this bitch was Batman! So the mob is defeated and Rendel assumes the position looking over the gorgeously shot city while shadowy businessmen plan to go to war in a sequel. Cue badass theme song!
In my mind, I always thought I was a different kind. Cause back in time, I used to think that everyone was blind.
Rendel plays like something that would have come out in the aftermath of Tim Burton's Batman, between the dark cinematography, the villain often being more of a driving force and focus of the plot than the hero, and some elements of corniness that don't always feel intentional. But given that this was Finland's first superhero movie, I guess feeling kind of out of date is probably normal. But besides that, Rendel is a pretty good movie. It's very well shot and stylish, it's moody without dipping into pretentious brooding, it has an interesting hero with a complete arc and story and a cool design, and its sense of dark humor that pops up at the perfect moments without overstaying its welcome really helps to give the film some identity. It's nothing that'll blow your mind, but I think it's pretty enjoyable. I had a good time with this. Rendel was apparently successful enough that a sequel, Rendel 2 Cycle of Revenge, is due to come out sometime this year, but I can't find a concrete release date ever having been announced, and given how the world kind of shut down from the coronavirus, those plans have probably changed. But yeah, I'm totally on board with seeing more of this character and seeing where they take the series from here.